back to my channel. Today we're watching top 10 Great British Bake Off scandals. I'm quite interested to see. Sorry, my dog is doing a stretch on the bed. Just caught me by surprise. I'm quite interested to see what is going to be on this video. So let's get right into it.
1 part controversy to 2 parts sugar. Welcome to Watch Mojo UK, and today we're counting down
Hello,
our
Ashley.
picks for the top 10 Great British Bake Off scandals. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at moments from the hits baking show that stepped outside its rather tame nature and gave us a taste of something a little more outrageous. Who knew baking could be this scandalous? Number 10, betting scandal.
Judges have made a decision. It's been like waiting for a new pope to be elected. Thankfully, the white smoke has now emerged from the marquee.
It was news to us that you could
Sorry?
place bets on competitive TV shows, but it was
What?
even bigger news that employees of Bake Off's production company
No.
tried to scam bookmakers in 2015 using insider knowledge to bet on the season's winner. And were
Wow.
totally busted for it.
Ed.
That's right, the British bookmaker, Ladbrokes, noticed some suspicious activity before the season finale of Bake Off aired.
I didn't even know you
with
could
lots
vote,
of new
bet on
accounts
that.
created, and
on
all of them
Bake Off
backing the
competition.
same winner to the tune of over £10,000. Not only was all the new activity suspicious, but Ladbrokes easily tied the bettors back to the production company too, because these modern-day heist masters used their own names when opening the accounts. Not too bright.
Your name
God,
will
that
be
actually
on the
did happen.
in the
It wasn't,
credits.
you know, a dream.
Number 9.
It
Who
wasn't a
doesn't
dream.
like baking?
I'll be
True.
firm but fair, because I want the bakers to do their very best.
We're assuming one of the very first
How
rules of
will any of the
Marketing
judges
101 is
not
not
like
to admit
baking?
disinterest
Yeah,
in the
in what
very
you're
product
judging.
you're selling. And we're also guessing the Bake Off host Prue Leith must have totally forgotten that rule. While hosting a cooking class, Leith told students that she is more interested in cooking savoury dishes than sweets and treats.
I mean, that's
And the
fair.
reaction to this news
Everyone
once it
has
went
what they
public
prefer.
left fans of the show with a major WTF moment that the judge of the wildly popular baking show isn't all that interested in baking.
mochaccino.
That's like finding out
A
Simon Cowell prefers
mochaccino.
beatboxing over singing.
Very nice flavour.
But there's a silver lining here, as Leith has admitted that she likes eating
Oh.
sweets. Oh, thank goodness for that.
Really, you just like them because they match your outfit.
Number 8, Carter Bailey's Instagram. There's no
Who's that?
better place for a conspiracy theory to grow up big and strong than on social media. And this is exactly what happened when Stephen's stunning creations on the show left some fans not only unimpressed, but also questioning whether he was a professional baker trying to scam the public.
It's very well designed and it's as neat as a pin.
The proof of their charges was his Instagram account, where the talented baker showed off some of his finest cakes, and some fans thought they were just too good to be from an amateur.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, looking at these pictures, you'd be forgiven for thinking Stephen's a pro, but he's actually just a marketing manager who learned to bake from his mum. So the real scandal here
that a
is the
cake?
cynical responses from unhappy fans.
That is impressive. Yeah, no. Did he win?
That is stunning.
Number 7,
goodness,
Tando
that-
versus
That
Hollywood.
is amazing.
Nice crust on the top, that's the part I like.
Let's have a look inside.
Oh, it's going to be so bad.
Ready?
During Ruby Tando's second place finish in the 2013 competition, some, obviously unhappy fans, convinced themselves that she only finished that high because she flirted with and fancied one of the show's judges
No
in
way.
Poor Hollywood. And considering Hollywood's very public
It's 'cause
trials
she's
with
pretty.
his wife at the time
That's
and
like the-
accusations of an affair, it only added fuel to the fire that Tando and Hollywood were an item outside of the show, and making for some scandalous rumours online.
That's the one. If I was going to go for one, that's the one I go for.
Okay.
The onion is delicious. Cream cheese, great. Really crispy shoe. Thank you, Ruby.
Delicious. Thank you.
Fed up, Ruby finally killed these rumours once and for all on Twitter in quite convincing fashion.
Nice.
As you see, not only does Ruby not fancy Hollywood, she doesn't fancy men, period.
At all, yeah.
She came out as gay on Twitter.
Don't tell me
She
things
is
like that, Ruby.
She's
Number
beautiful.
6, Hollywood jumps ship.
All the bake-off challenges have been devised by judges Mary Berry, cookery writer, and Paul Hollywood, master baker.
When Bake Off moved from its long-time home on the BBC to rival broadcaster Channel 4 in 2016, only one of its judges moved along with it, Mr. Paul Hollywood. And it caused a bit of a stir to say the least. The other judges, including beloved Mary Berry, stayed with the BBC in other roles, in what fans called an act of loyalty.
There's nothing wrong with that.
They were less kind to Hollywood, however, with many claiming he sold out the BBC for more money. But Paul had a very different explanation. He simply wanted to keep the job he loved.
I was gonna say, would he have been able to keep the show?
I don't know.
It seems that BBC didn't.
Either way,
like, I don't
it was an
know, but-
incredibly divisive moment for the show, and many longtime fans refused to follow it to Channel 4,
That's what I'm saying,
effectively
yeah.
choosing Team Mary over Team Hollywood.
Because
Number
it's not as like there. I mean, it's sorry. It seems as though if the show was going to Channel 4, you had to go with it, or there would be no show. So I think it's kind of messed up to then be like, no, how dare you? Like, Paul, how could you go with them? He wouldn't have been on the show, and then we'd have completely. I mean, yeah, we do have completely, but at least there's someone who everyone knew from the original, and I just feel like that's good enough. Otherwise, you just have a new Bake Off entirely. I don't know. That's just what I think.
5, fraudulent fondant.
I'm constructing the main body of the rocket at the moment.
What's the surest way to get kicked off of a competitive baking show? Well, by not making your creation from scratch, of course. And in a mind-bending decision, this is exactly what then contestant Enwezo did in
Enwezo.
2014, when he unashamedly used store-bought icing on his biscuits. I mean, shouldn't that be illegal?
Is this fondant in
Fondant,
between?
yes, yes.
Did you make the fondant?
No, I didn't.
Look at
Now,
her
he
face.
didn't get away with it, of course, as the look
How
on the
could you
judges'
do that?
faces was one
Yeah.
of absolute disappointment.
How could
and
you
he
do
was
that?
booted from the show immediately after.
Goodbye. What is the
But we
point?
really have to wonder just what was going through his head at that moment.
I wonder.
Store-bought icing on a baking show? That would be like trying to win X Factor by lip syncing. Silly, silly.
The person, very sadly, who's leaving us today is always so.
Number 4, stolen custard.
I've got to make that into proper custard. And
Did you
I've
know
got
we
two
didn't
types
take
of
someone
caramels to make.
else's?
Yeah.
The case of the missing custard had fans of the show playing detective on social media, trying to figure out the truth. Had Deborah meant to steal Howard's custard, or was it all just a big mistake? Well, according to Deborah, it was just a slip-up, as she forgot what her bowl looked like and unintentionally grabbed Howard's instead.
Where's my custard? Oh no!
I'm so sorry, Howard.
But the internet
Wow,
wasn't
everyone's
buying
got
it,
a
and thus
separate
the
countertop.
CustardGate hashtag was born to get to the soggy bottom of it. While most of the tweets were in jest, and the incident looked like a genuine accident, this moment actually had major ramifications for Deborah, as she was sent packing at the end of the episode, and few on Twitter had much, if any, sympathy for her.
I've got some of my own.
It's either a terrible error or the most incredible case of baking espionage I've ever seen.
I'm so really sorry.
I'm sure that one custard's as good as another.
Number 3, Bingate.
It's a mess, disaster, it's revolting.
It's crazy.
Another
I wonder
bake-off.
if she actually meant to do that. If she did, like they said, oof, that's some baking espionage if I ever saw one.
Another scandal and another Twitter hashtag. Not unlike hashtag CustardGate, Hashtag Bingate had social media sleuths playing detective once
that is
again,
sliding.
trying to decide whether Diana meant to leave Ian's baked Alaska out of the freezer to melt on purpose.
Where's my ice cream?
It's here. Sorry, Ian.
Intentions
Ooh,
aside,
he's
however,
red on
Ian
that.
was so upset that he threw his
could
melted
you?
cake in the bin prior to judging, and therefore was kicked off the show for having nothing to present,
course.
making for a really unfair situation,
What's
really.
he gonna do?
No.
No, but what's he gonna do? So
And
he
as
should present
expected,
that.
Twitter was irate. Seriously, some people were so upset they called for Diana's arrest, while others thought she should be eliminated immediately for acts of sabotage. Tensions were so high that Ian
horrible.
himself eventually tweeted and made light of the situation to calm things down. Number 2, the tweet.
What are you doing, Prue?
Unfortunately for Prue, she makes the list again. And this time, it's for a reason so big, it almost ruined an entire season of Bake Off for a lot of viewers. Did she implode on national television? No,
Back to the
but she
Future.
did tweet out the winner of the 2017 season hours before the pre-taped show aired in the UK.
It's worse than that.
You took views away from your channel.
Now, how did she accidentally tweet out the winner, you ask? Well, she was in a different time zone and didn't take the time difference into account before sending her tweet. While she essentially spoiled the season finale for anyone scrolling Twitter at that moment, luckily the finale episode was still viewed in record numbers.
That's
and
great.
fans ultimately forgave her. Aww.
How did you feel?
Suicidal. I mean, awful.
Number 1, the squirrel. A familiar image during the show's BBC days was a cutaway to a small parkland outside the studio that housed squirrels and other wonders of nature. And during the finale of the 2011 season, the cameraman happened to capture a squirrel that was less than camera shy and perhaps a bit too proud of his nuts. Yeah, this dude's absolutely packing. While the bottom-heavy squirrel is hilarious, no doubt some viewers were frustrated that the show's producers left this image in the final cut because they felt like it distracted from Joe Wheatley's emotional victory and had absolutely nothing to do with baking. While this is valid criticism, we can't help but feel some of the outrage surrounding the squirrel is a
bit
little
much.
nuts.
Thing like that just sets off everything.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other
Yeah, that was nice little quick watch. Nice to quickly just see some bits. I thought it was gonna be crazier. I thought they were gonna be a lot more intense with the, scandals. But for a really relaxing, easy watch, I don't know what I expected. Like, what was I really expecting? Anyway, have a good time, everyone, and I will see you next time. Bye, deuces.